Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So, I was on my way to kind of redistribute things for the resources so I could get plasteel, so I could do some maneuvering with everything. But on the way, this popped up. So I thought I would film this little bit, then go on and do the redistributing, just because this was a little interesting. So from Vheabos, our Voxmaster, Lord Captain, urgent report. We have received an astropathic message from the Regent Antario Orsello, who I didn't actually think survived, mind you. And reminder, he was essentially the person taking care of Cassia in the beginning, who was like bleeding out when we took her, and he's like, I'll live for a day, so please take Cassia away. The navigators are concerned about the fate of Cassia, who disappeared from Uric 5. The Regent is requesting an update on her current status, and he has also inquired about the possibility of a personal meeting to negotiate and arrange the return of Lady Navigator to her house. The psycho-emotional coding of the received message betrays an acute concern, but it also contains something that the astropaths have failed to put into words. If you'll excuse my forthrighteousness, feel it is necessary to tell House Orsello the truth, otherwise the conflict with the Navis Nobilite is possible, which, given the current state of the Koronus Expanse, will only play into the hands of the enemies of the Imperium. So, I guess this is the wrong person. I was thinking that they were the people that handed her off to me. How did they learn that I have Cassia? I wish I knew, Lord Captain. It's troubling indeed. Perhaps we have a spy on board, or Regent Aranto is bluffing. Either case, I believe we should respond. Navigators are extremely powerful and useful allies to have. We'll tell them that Cassia is safe, and that the Rogue Trader would be honored to meet in person. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The astropaths will transmit your consent. Representatives of House Orsello will be waiting for you on the capital world of Dargonus. So, another thing to go back to Dargonus for later. Receiving members of the Navis Nobilite is always a delicate matter. Please be sure to discuss the details of this meeting with your Chancellor upon meeting. Alright, so I was heading back to here, to the ice world, so I could get the Promethium off, so I could do some other stuff. So, gonna do this quick, then grab some plasteel from some world, then we'll be heading back. So now we can go to the planets that I need to go to, and we'll be good. Lord Captain, we have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. The planet on Vheabos VI is located here. The problem is augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere, not unlike a massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate has happened to the planet's underground storage facilities. It's impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising in the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher this telemetry easily. Xenos. The armory and artillery crews are standing by. So we'll have to deal with the Drakhuri first. We'll do all the paths, all the planets other than Vheabos, then deal with the Drakhuri, then land. Oh, I've already done all this stuff? Okay. So just go to Drakhuri. I knew Vheabos would be a thing.
I stand ready to serve you and the Imperium,
Yeah,
Lord.
I guess I do just get a ship that escorts me. I don't get to control it though, so that's a little unfortunate. So last hatred frigate and last hatred frigate. Huh. I doubt I'm gonna hit it. I actually did more than I thought I would. And then we're going to put these little guys out. Actually going to vuln scan it. And try to tear him apart. So if I would have had the Heartless escort me, that's essentially what would have been with me, huh? Interesting. We'll get the crack ammo going at it. Because even if it goes into its, like, veiled form, then it doesn't get away.
A worthy deed.
Repair. Check this really quick. I can use giants now. Get the mobile extractium replenishing, which will be amazing. Then Janus will be able to get Capella Biologus and the Reaping. And Dargonus. Lord Captain, we have received a report from Dargonus. Some common folk in the now ruined Scipion have succumbed to the heresy of defiance, forming into gangs known as the Engine Vandals. They now ride across the wasteland on wasteland adapting cleaning Goliaths. That sounds like a good thing, but they're probably using it for bad purposes. They have declared themselves outside the law, raiding Hive's outskirts only to escape retribution into the toxic wastelands. Many of them did not want to obey your more than adequate decision to send them into the restoration site of Scipion, and thus they have fled the labor settlements, committing the heresy of disobedience. Rumor has it that the Foreman clan in charge of the debris removal in the ruins of Scipion associates with these vandals. We could pass on your words to the renegades via the Foreman, or force them to disclose the location of the nomadic camps. So how do they survive in the wastelands, and why do they reject my rule? It is a rather uncomfortable way of life, your lordship. They always are on the run from acid rains and hurricanes. Keeping a distance from the hives if they do not plan on raiding at the moment, they gather their food from abandoned outposts, paying for it with their lives of those killed by anonymous security systems. Water and promethium are rationed very strictly. They live by marauding, occasionally hunting and plundering, and sometimes their own kin, and sometimes the outskirts of hives. They are a tribe of degenerates and barbarians that is rapidly developing its own clan culture. The civilized residents of the hives shoot the scum any chance they get. So, usually, having my advisors chime in gets me better stuff. That wasteland generator actually is not bad at all. Torpedo tubes capable of 5 burning plasma torpedoes dealing 19 damage apiece, so that would be nearly 100 damage. 1 security, leader of the Engine Vandals, but lose 1 complacency. That's only 1 movement point for me, so I don't care about that. Otherwise, Wasteland Twister, 2-handed power sword. That doesn't really do anything in particular. Wish to hear what my advisors have to say. If the Engine Vandals have managed to tame the ancient machine spirits, then that means there are technomancer or even tech priests among their ranks. That renders them negotiable. That would be efficient to utilize such renegades instead of disposing of them. The promise of reward for every piece of technology found in the wastelands of Dargonus and returned to the dynasty will ensure their obedience and traceability. I like you, Pascal. I like that one. If you wish to terminate them, Melantalk, do not waste your time on hunting them down. Instead, deceive them into destroying each other. Tempt them with a prize, a weapon, or a trophy that they can fight over. After the monkey are finished slicing each other up for the right to obtain it, your warriors will finish the deed. The tactic often proves efficient against your kind. That is horrible, Yearlet. The aristocrats of Dargonus despise them, but are also secretly afraid of them. Correct? Renegades can invoke such fear. I wonder, had there been such exiles in my house, would their presence have curbed the ambitions of my brothers and sisters? Would they have supported me in case of conflict? Oh, I'm scheming and conspiring right now, am I not? Bravo, Lady Cassia. Do not be ashamed of the unique abilities bestowed upon you by your heritage. They are your birthright. Heinrichs, what are you doing? The web teaches to look for the enemy's vulnerability in what drives them. If the enemy is compelled to seek substances by attacking your demands, prepare a trap full of poisoned gifts. Let them eat and drink to their heart's content. The poison will weaken them, and then you will strike. So if I go with Pascal, I still get the Wasteland Generator, which are better torpedoes, but the problem here is I like the torpedoes I had because I can use them every turn, and now I think the Wasteland Generator is better, because these would need to be twice as damaging, and then I also get the mechanism without any downside. The Wasteland Generator would need to do like twice as much damage because I would need to use them every turn to get as much, or I suppose not really now that I have the other thing, but there's some weird math there. If I go with Cassia, I get the leader of the engine vandals, get that movement point and plus security. If we go with Cabela, I get the Death Cult Power Blade, which is a different two-handed sword now that has -6 to the target's parry and +1 to the wielder's critical hit chance for each attack they make. So that's actually pretty good for her. I haven't found a two-handed sword I like for her in a while. I've been doing one-handed swords to dual wield with her because I haven't found a two-handed sword I like with her for a while. Or if I go with Yarlette, I still get the Wasteland Twister and get plus complacency. But I've been spending Profit Factor a lot recently. So I think I'm going to go with Pascal's here, because I have a lot of good stuff recently. I've been getting a lot of decent items recently, and I've been giving up a lot of really good items because it's like, which of these two really good weapons do I use? And like with Cabela, I have really good one-handed weapons. So I don't think I'm going to use the Death Cult Power Blade because now I'm dual wielding with her. To the point where one of her one-handed weapons actually does more than that two-handed weapon right there, if I recall correctly. So as much as I originally wanted her to be a two-hander, her one-handers make up for that. Except for like the extra stuff on that, because the critical hit chance is really good, but at the same time I think the extra effects I have on the other stuff is good, so I'll just go with the Profit Factor. And I got mechanisms, I got the Wasteland Generator, which I didn't really care about. Oh, I lost a Profit Factor from that. I thought I would have gained one. I read that wrong. Oh well. The former servants and serfs of the Omnissiah that are now part of the engine vandals. The former servants and serfs of the Omnissiah that are now part of the engine vandals were glad to actively collaborate and redeem themselves in the eyes of the Deus Mechanicus. The common folk did not dare condemn this pact, fearing the menacing priests clad in scarlet. Hive raids have now become rare occurrences. Expeditions returning from the wastelands with the relics that were once lost to the vast plains. The Foreman clan then delivers these relics straight to the dynasty coffers. I mean, it's not bad. And then from there... Oh, I don't have enough efficiency for this. Okay. So we just need to get efficiency up. Well, let's do Genetic Mercy here quick. Genetic purges will be stopped. The world needs helping hands. This gets me people to spend on the rest of this, because I've needed people for a while. It's not that it gets me efficiency for the other stuff, but 10 Iconoclast points, security, complacency. That works. Alright, to Vheabos. The Pits of Vheabos. Or is it Vheabos? I'm not sure. I think it's Vheabos. Oh, this looks lovely.
Vheabos VI always was a penal world. But this, even the miscreants of this place do not deserve such a fate.
Dang.
Do not pay them. They became weapons in the enemy's hands. The Xenos wanted to shake our spirit, and, judging by your words, they were successful.
The man's body is frozen in an unnatural pose. The corpse's fingers are crooked and its teeth are bared in a ghastly grimace.
unexplored.
So some stuff there to collect. This man clawed at his throat right before he died. The broken, slashed, and gutted body is still covered with the shreds of planetary warden uniform. Caustic ooze gives sickening vapor that eats away at the lining of your nose and mouth, making your eyes water. I think they had a problem. Skill check, name open. You can clearly see several thin cuts left behind by bladed weapons. Oh, what's this? Who are you? Oh, Drakhuri, I'm assuming. Tazara, a tall, lithe Xenos, moves with the grace of an otherworldly predator. The creature gives you a dispassionate glance and casually speaks a few words that immediately are picked up by your ludicator. Micandus, Aelith, what is this? Has one of the sisters found an amusing trinket in the ruins and saved it as a special treat for the Archon? The Xenos takes a quick look over her shoulder towards the platform, where a few more silhouettes in tar black armor can be seen. By whose leave are you playing Lord on my world? The Xenos' eyes light up with interest. The monkey understands my speech. Where did you come by a device that can translate our language? Are you trying to impress me by appearing useful? Such words will earn you a bout in the ring at most. Without weapons and soon without your skin. The humans scattered around you on the platform stare as if they've seen a ghost. The eyes of some betray their fear, the others glare with a bestial hatred, and yet more look upon you with hope. Who are you? My name is known to everyone on this planet, monkey. I am Tazara, the Deliverer, Tazara, the Benevolent, the one who grants respite from choking grasp of this world. I decide who lives, who dies, and who finds new purpose for their existence in the Comora's many arenas. Surely this is why you have come here, to fight for my ever-changing favor and the privilege of being the first to be chained. So you ravaged my planet, you wiped out millions of people, made those who survived bend the knee. Nah, you're gonna die. Am I not paying for our mischief already? Am I not saving the worthiest among your kin? Gifting them the right to die for the delight of my brothers and sisters? What kind of abhorrent gratitude is this? From the dusk behind Tazara comes a cry. The distance between you and the Xenos is too great for the ludicator to interpret the words, but the tone alone speaks of the irritation and impatience. Tazara raises her blade and points it at you. Tell the other monkey that whoever slits your throat will depart for their new home ahead of schedule. And tell them to hold nothing back. Tonight they dance for Ymiri's herself, the great Archon of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest. Yeah, we'll do the persuasion here. Turn to the fighters in the arena. Do you truly wish to die at the Xenos' behest? If we join forces, we can end this senseless carnage once and for all. Persuasion test succeeded. Exhausted and defenseless faces trade worried glances. The hulking brute next to you hesitates, then spits and breaks into a grin. We're gonna die anyway. Might as well do it without the heretic's brand. Slay the beasts. Tazara emits a furious scream and takes a step back, signaling to her companions. Time to fight some Drakhuri. I've been looking forward to this one. So I think these are like Dark Eldar, essentially. Technically we're ambushed here, so we can't do anything. So there's 6 of them. I'm not sure what white are, but there's 2 normal ones, 2 gunslingers, there's Hecatics, and then... Oh. I thought Tazara up there was gonna be a thing. Hecatics, and then... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Well, if they're right there, can we just do a damaging thing on them? And then I'm gonna do voice of command on the main character. Air of authority. Bring it down. And let's see how much damage we can just do to them right away. I can hit, like, all of them. Except for the Hecatic. So, I'm gonna go at the Gunslinger first. They are rank 3s, so we're gonna hunt down prey. And then hunt down prey. I'm gonna do Call the Bold.
Step closer.
Piercing Shot.
Guides me.
Surefire Plan. I have a 95 if I use Silence of Shail. But doesn't Cruel Fate do more damage? It does not, and I have less of a hit chance. So let's blow them to Kingdom Come. That's 1 down. Then
Emperor, give me strength.
Cassia can run here. Do backline to recover efficiency. And we're gonna Glimpse of Fate on Argenta.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Main character can run, say, like, right here. And I can hit everyone except for the guy right there. How about if I run here, I can still hit everyone but the one way over there. That's probably better. So I want to take out the Hexatic. So we're going to do the same thing here.
Guides me. One step closer.
And maybe take out the Gunslinger right there.
Tribute.
Then, let's analyze the Hexatic.
Ruin beckons. I will triumph.
And then claim Bounty right here.
Guides me.
Just to do some damage to them. And see what they do.
Here we go.
Well, at least they're taking some hits for me, right? I have RG run right here. She can take out the Hecatrix. So we... Actually, I'm going to have her run right here so she can kick.
Not.
But first we're going to Furious Recital. Confident Approach.
Deeds is worthless.
Kick.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Will be delectable.
We're going to Steady Superiority for the extra attack.
Might I crave.
Before I open fire, we're going to Concentrated Fire.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Yeah, about a 67 to hit this way. She's down. Single shot there.
Deeds is why I was chosen. I'll do it.
Run and gun to get into a better position. We are going to move to about right here. Open fire on the other one. Are they going to get in? I'm bored of this farce. Who rules this arena, you or the monkey? Archon Yermelis. Drakon, you know the danger of... Oh, are they going to jump in? Well, she's definitely going to be doing something. Oh, no, they're just preparing something. Okay. Hey, RG, what you doing there? Nothing, okay.
Let's get to it.
Time to slaughter.
Let the gladiators do their thing.
Out of my way.
Although Shoddy actually did something there. That's good, right?
The guilty.
Solomorn, go ahead. Glado, run.
We're undertaking this task.
Apprehend the winch. Bite. You're not going to be tearing anyone's heart out.
Clarify your order.
Sorry, Gladiator, but it's all in good. Oh, we didn't. I was hoping to take her out, but that's fine.
The order is
Run and gun. Just to get the movement.
We've got a job to do, Glato.
Grizzly education to get them bleeding.
Done.
And get the, thought that would end my turn.
Explorers know one route
Parry up.
forward.
Taking pot shot at one of the Drakhuri there. Blinding strike.
Target parameters.
Blades in the void. Wait for a response from Darganas. The surviving fighters turn their head towards you one after another. All eyes on the battlefield are glued to you. Those who fought with me, get to the shuttle. As soon as we are away from here, I will give orders for the immediate evacuation of the remaining survivors. And I'm gonna loot the hell out of them. Fun looking blade. Poisoned Hekatari blade. So 10 to 15 damage. 6 poison. Not very good armor either. There's some good stashed around here. Seems to be some hidden goods stashed around here. What's this? Man died clutching his intestines. Ugh. Hunter Carapace, 45. 10% armor if the wearer is in partial cover. I mean, better than nothing, I suppose. Partial goods over here. Or more like hidden goods, but just cargo. Let's get this stuff. There are splinter pistols, stub revolvers, all stuff we kinda had. Anything special on this person, because they were named something. They had a blast pistol with dark light blast, but still not great. So to cargo we go.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
They're gone. Thrown as my witness, we'll find these blasphemous wretches and make them pay for everything that's happened here. I don't think there's anything I can do as of right now. Yeah, I can't get up there. Unfortunate. So it's just kind of a fight pit, it looks like. That does not look comfortable now that I look at it. Bodies have been twisted into a pose resembling a servitile bow bound with barbed wire. Screw the Drakhuri. These are my people.
Let's seize the opportunity.
I'm assuming the Drakhuri are not happy here. Oh, I'm going to have to look at that. I can do things with Vheabos now. So, Punishment of the Thinkers. Vheabos needs new convicts. Various deranged literates and idle thinkers could supplement the workforce. And I could get 5% damage against psychers and navigators for the cost of 4 people. Get complacency, adamantine, and chemicals. I mean, everything seems to give me chemicals and adamantine. It's just if I want a perk, efficiency, or security, and other things. I'm not sure why that would get our security up rather than our efficiency, and what the deal is there, but yeah, let's do calculation, because that gets security, and I think that's going to be a big thing there. Being a prison. I'm kind of surprised that no big thing has happened. And then before we go anywhere, I kind of wanted to look. This is different. But yeah, this is one of the 2 things I wanted to look at. So I can fire 4 Eldari sonic torpedoes with 22 damage apiece, or 5 normal torpedoes with 19. So technically the Wasteland generator does more, but there's something weird about the Audacity of Janus, so they can be fired every turn rather than like every other turn or something like that. Then on Vheabos here. Lord Captain, a disturbing report has come from the quarries of Vheabos VI. The convicts have lost their minds, they forget how to use tools, they huddle together and continue to stare aimlessly into space, even under the lashes of whips, ruining the mining deadlines. Some are possessed with the urge to use their nails, scratch blasphemous symbols on tools, machines, and even their own bodies. The most mad have painted the walls of several mines from floor to ceiling with the symbols and then gone off deep into the mining tunnels. None of them could be found. The overseers consider it a ploy to divert attention away from the escapees and an impending rebellion. Where are the symbols? It's hard to give these drawings any sort of intelligent definition. Unnaturally round circles, so I guess they're good drawers? Connected by lines, the lines are interrupted by groups of dots. Some patterns follow common logic while others are unique. I can provide your lordship with pics of them. After examining them, you realize that the symbols are connected through strange logical sequence. So what do my advisors have to say? I am detecting an intriguing pattern in the drawings of the symbols left behind by the prisoners. Hypothesis. They have a practical purpose. Requesting clearance for the Adeptus Mechanicus to access the mines and investigate the specimens. Disappearing prisoners? What's the point of running away from the penal servitude of the entire world if the entire world is a prison cell? No, Shireen. These ashmakes have found some sort of smuggling tunnel in the network and are hiding there. And the drawings are a secret language, which they use to give orders to their fellow prisoners. I know some guys who can find such secret places and decipher these languages. If the convicts continue to disappear for no reason, then unrest will soon follow, whether out of fear or hope for possible escape. To stifle this, we must put out pressure on the convicts' leader. My experience suggests that such people can hold more sway than any other overseer. A fish rots from the head. A prison begins to collapse because of its overseers. It is suspicious that no one has managed to get to the bottom of the problem. Lean on the senior staff to get the information we need. Someone in the prison must be exploiting this situation for its own ends. So let's see what we get here. Expert cryptographer. Allies get 7 logic, which wouldn't be a bad thing. From J, we get a peculiar trinket. At the start of the wearer's turn, they gain armor deflection, temporary, and... oh no. They gain temporary wounds equal to 2 times armor deflection, which is kind of interesting. When the wearer's wounds drop to 0, they fall prone. And gain maximum wounds as temporary wounds. They become the priority target of adjacent enemies. While prone, the wearer has no other... oh, that is very bad. While prone, if the wearer has no other allies with more... oh, never mind. That's not the worst thing in the world. While prone, if the wearer has no allies with more than 0 wounds, they and their allies die. On the next turn, they regain 30% of their wounds as temporary wounds, and can only happen once per round, so that could be amazing for a tank. Watchdogs of Vheabos VI from Abelard, 3 speed on the first round, which isn't the biggest deal, and Solomorn would get me the Equalizer, solid projectile, 2-handed heavy gun, which I have much better. Okay. So it would be between Expert Cryptographer, just for the extra logic, and the Peculiar Trinket, if I'm being totally honest, because that would just make Abelard that much better of a tank. I wish I could see what I had equipped on him right now before I made that decision, but I can't go to my inventory, because realistically, it's not going to give him too much temporary wounds, but Abelard, no matter what, likes temporary wounds. However, it also gives him a buffer of when he drops to 0 wounds, he gets his maximum wounds as temporary wounds, so he doesn't die, which is big, and it makes it so the enemy that most likely knocks him down in melee combat still thinks of him as a priority target, which is another thing that he really likes. I think I have to go with the Peculiar Trinket. That's Jay, right? So Jay, have your savvy associates investigate exactly where my servants have wandered off to? For a generous fee, my people could find even the smallest stone tossed to the bottom of a sea, Shireen. A squad of daring smugglers slipped into the mines and discovered long collapsed tunnels that had been cleared very recently. An unnaturally even wall covered in strange symbols caught their attention. The tunnel went down deep and was not on any of the mining maps. The colony administration gave orders to conduct an archive study, banned work in the sector, and had guards posted there until the origins of the tunnel could be established. So security, adamantine, chemicals. Let's do this part first. So, ooh, what's this? That 4% hit chance could be interesting. Vigilance with what Solomorn does actually could be really cool. Must be complete in the Protectorate Secret of the Winter skills. Oh, I have to have this. Okay. So I have this done too. I think I want to do Holy Servitude here just to get Vigilance for Solomorn, just because of shenanigans. This will get me 2 Profit Factor, Complacency, Drusian RP. We'll do that for now. Then, Abelard, got this fancy new thing for you. Oh, just even starting that got me Vigilance done. Interesting. And then, I'm assuming I just need to go back for all my stuff to, like, be fine. I might want to do some of these contracts to looking at it, like, for 3 Profit Factor, I get the Plasteel and Adamantine. I'm kind of short on those. Yeah, undetermined. So, Vheabos VI has been purged of Xenos, but the raid leaders evaded capture. Information about pillaging of Vheabos VI has already been sent by Astropathic Choir of Dargonus. A response may take some time to arrive, but it has been unwise, and it would be unwise to spend it waiting on the poisoned penile world. I need to go back to Dargonus for that one. So I'm assuming just go back to Dargonus, because I'm not sure where the Sorrowful Phalanges is going to be. So that'll be the plan, and then we'll go from there. Oh! Lord Captain, we have visitors on the bridge seeking an audience. Your presence is required. Why are they aboard my ship? How did they get aboard my ship? Why? Why? Who? Why was I not told who they were? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Why don't I trust this? Your lordship. High Fractorum bows low. Every few moments, Stanrock brings a perfumed cloth to his face, but his expression remains ubiquitous. Members of your crew have made a request to allow them to proclaim your most profound devotion to the Lord Captain personally. Young man! A lower deck rabble. A man in a worn uniform bows awkwardly. Gracious Lord Captain, please let me speak on behalf of the whole crew and everyone and express our gratitude to you, officially, so to speak. The kind leader you are, the way you treat your people is now known to every corner of the Expanse, from Footfall to the poorest, dirtiest, most unremarkable planet. All praise your dedication to the human spirit and goodwill. Everyone wants to serve under your command. There's no end to the volunteers. So the other day, when we were cleaning out an abandoned sector for the newest living quarters, we found a forgotten vault right in the bilge of the ship, literally beneath for our feet. Well, it turned out the vault had some centuries-old weapons in it, and they looked a bit odd, but they're powerful for sure. The tech priests helped with the assembly and the concentration of weapons, and now you can strike down your enemies with even greater might. Your lordship, apart from the weapons, the crew has sent one more find to the bridge as a token of its eternal gratitude, a most ancient mechanism which our tech priests have dubbed the Celestium Observatorium. Alas, its machine spirit refuses to heed their rites, which makes the device more symbolic and aesthetic than practical in purpose. Do you wish to see it? Of course. Well, that thing looks cool. The Celestium Observatorium looms over the deck while the spirit of the ancient mechanism has gone silent forever. The words intricately inscribed on its frame can still serve as a source of resolve. A keen gaze sunders the darkness abloom with deceit and renders all corruption to ash. That's cool, and I'm sure that's going to have some use soon. They said they sent weapons? So is that like a weapon cache? So I don't see any more weapons. Unfortunate. Okay. Hey, Dan Rock. Where are you? There you are. I was hoping you'd tell me what they had given me. Ah, well. So maybe I just didn't see that part and was blind as a bat, as usual. But cool nonetheless. I'm sure that'll have use later. Just gotta double check all this to make sure, Giants complacency up. Got a contract. But now, because Giants is done, I get Mobile Extractium 10 and Replenishing 3, so I can basically get, like, everything. And then I'm just going to start, like, getting all of this. So let's get sorted goods here. Fellowship of the Void, Reputation, Mechanism, Weapons, Xenotech. And Vheabos, complacency up, profit factor up. Oh, I need Giants for this, and complacency goes down, but I get Promethium, Phlogiston, Adamantium. But because Plastile's not going to be as big of a thing anymore, let's do absolute Dreamless for the absolute efficiency and get efficiency up. And this will also get me +5 commerce on all allies and +4% hit chance. Lord Captain, our astropaths received a message from Achilles Scalander on Dargonis. He's closely studied the data from the incursion on Vheabos VI, including the mention of the Xenos leaders. He promised to direct the efforts on his aides to identify those enemies of humanity so their location can be determined. Master Scalander is also reporting the Drakhuri are getting ready for more attacks on your territory. Information from his aides continue to arrive. Achilles will personally report to you the moment the target for the upcoming raid becomes clear. The Drakhuri excel at catching their opponents off guard, and there will be little time to mount a response. According to Master Scalander, your personal participation in their defense would be the best strategy given the circumstance. Okay. Oh, wait for a response. Done. Lord Captain, this is Master Helmsman Ravor. The crew is grumbling again, but they've got a reason this time. Our analytics systems has gone totally bonkers. The red robes, tech priests are blaming the anger off the machine spears. Allegedly, this is how they profess their displeasure at the crew for not being worshipful. We have largely managed to stabilize the output of the augurs and auspexes across the ship, but you should know there is something awfully sketchy about the machines these days. I can confirm, Lord Cap, the vessel's analytic systems were behaving incorrectly for a time. The cognitors could not produce statistical data and displayed meaningless numeric combinations instead. The augurs failed to correctly analyze matter and mistook solids for liquids and vice versa. On a ship that's heading through space, that is very scary. Thanks to the tech priest's efforts, standard operation of the ship's mechanisms has been restored. I'm still registering sporadic reports of similar malfunctions, but we should be able to now handle them. Okay. I am very scared at that. Very, very scared. Very, very, very scared. Go get the phlogiston, please. So I have the extractium for it. Doctrine of rationality. I mean, it spends a few people here that I now have mechanisms that I very much have. I have the plasteel now. It gives me dogmatic, which I don't care about. Efficiency, complacency, security goes up. And that just gets completed. I didn't realize that. Casabasilicon auction. Once again, adamantine, which I kind of have. Plasteel and weapons, but I get 4 profit factor, 2 Xenotech, and Casa Basilica mission RP, and something called the Ashen Breath, which is a 2-handed Melta. Is there anything special about this? It doesn't seem like it. Okay. Kind of has some nice range on it, though. Hallucinatory Chem Thermae. So this needs more people. Provisions, which I have. Chemicals, which... yeah, we kind of have, and this gets me Crimson Haze. User suffers 6 bleeding. As long as the user is bleeding, they get 100% critical damage. Gets me Heretical, plus 10, 2 profit factor, and more complacency. Once again, don't really care about Heretical. I was getting the Seasons of War with the Filth of the Expanse, so we might as well get this done. We can do Scipium Schools, or Scriptorium Schools. This gets efficiency up, more people, complacency up, but loses me 1 profit factor. I believe that means Dargonus is done? If I look over at it. Oh, Lord Captain, there has been a tragedy on Dargonus. Governor Drivestem has been dedicating most of his time to restoring the astropathic choir and lost the warp storms, but the psychers he assembled were struck by an unknown affliction. They heard something and cast them into madness. The astropaths lost sleep, started clawing at their skin to the flesh and muttering gibberish, eventually went completely berserk. They had to be eliminated, and now only a few of the most resilient astropaths are upholding the connection to Dargonus. But how long will they last? Where did they come from, and can we get more of them? I have received complaints that the Governor Drivestem has devastated the minor astropathic choirs of the Protectorate. He scaled them down to by almost half through blatant abuse of his authority. To take more people from those choirs would be depriving ourselves of the most connections with other worlds. We could try hired sanctioned psychers from other domains, but they will be few as the road to the Imperium is perilous. We could also try getting by with the resources that we already have available to us by seeking out fugitive astropaths and having them train psychically active citizens of the Protectorate who show promise. A most regrettable violation of his laws, but considering the grave situation. What's the affliction? Who knows? Schemes of the heretics of the Cult of the Final Dawn, treacherous magic of Xenos, perhaps it was a planned diversion, or a stray echo of the Imperium. So, how about the advisors? What do you say? Astropaths are among the most finely trained servants in the Imperium, who have beheld the light of the Emperor himself and gained a special bond with our master. I strongly advise the rogue trader to recruit only sanctioned psychers who are capable of keeping their talent in check. If there are not enough, the Inquisition will assist you in locating and acquiring more. I like that. Your lordship, Lady Theodora, not only has enemies in the Expanse, but friends as well, those who she helped out, rescued, and saved. I think these people can offer a helping hand. Among them are several powerful planetary rulers who possess both astropaths and a deep respect for your family name. There are a lot of psychers on my home planet Lyra, Lord Captain. Do you know why? There we are not despised, persecuted, or enslaved on the black ships. There we are sheltered from raids, educated, and respected. Of course, this is all done in secrecy from outsiders, but I can suggest which rulers to contact. Maybe the von Valencia's family name will be enough to make a deal and obtain a better trained group of astropaths than some criminal rabble. So if we go with Heinrichs, we get Witch Collector, which is some momentum bonus when using Psyker and Navigator powers. Not too bad. Abelard, get +1 security, and Chaos Demons, Psychers, and Navigators deal -10% damage to me and my allies, which could be very, very useful. And if we go with Idira, we get the Psychic Ward. Psychers deal more damage. Abelard. I like the Discipline of the Damned. Demons, Chaos Creatures, Psychers, and Navigators deal less damage to us. And we get more security. It will be done. I wonder how many of them are still alive. A ship carrying 24 astropaths soon arrived on Dargonus. They descended to the surface, covered head to toe in protective amulets as if going to war. The news of the tragedy that had befallen the previous choir had quickly spread throughout the Expanse. Each of them conveyed words of amity from the rulers who had sent them, and each asked permission to visit family crypt to pay tribute to Lady Theodora. There had been no recurrence of the disastrous astropathic madness, but the new astropaths all reported hearing strange whispers ever since their first day on the planet. I mean, if it works, it works. And I'm wondering if we can just buy our way through Vheabos here. Other than the fact that we don't have the security, but I'm thinking we can get the security. Because if I get Lair in the Void, I get +1 here, and we get the grenade, along with some profit factor. This is minus security, so let's do that last. But +2 security here. Now I will fear no poison. 5 Karus, -10% toxic damage, which is big. Then I can get warp guides. +3 Navigator's Insight, which might be handy later. It gives me Iconoclast, more security, and complacency. Oh, I didn't look at that. I can get any of these still, so that's not the biggest deal. So I can get Killing Fields. Allies get +5 ballistic skill and 5% damage to range attack. I really like that. Blood Sports, 10% critical damage, and Wrath of the Vile Axe. Pretty good axe, actually, for all things considered, or Test of Wills. Cannoneers recruited from the warlike tribes of Vheabos VI are noted for their outstanding marksmanship. Torpedoes deal 15% more damage. I'm taking superior munitions. 5% ballistic skill, 5% more damage. Then we can just kind of go down this. This gets me Adamantians, Plasteel, Phlogiston, efficiency, but -1 security. And then Underground Workers, so -1 complacency, but Promethean, Phlogiston, Adamantine. And that seems to be it done. Another Vheabos thing. So, Lord Captain, the mines of Vheabos VI are once again in turmoil. At the depths of the level MD Zeta 5, overseers have discovered a mountain of mutilated bodies, seemingly crushed by the millstones of the mining machines. All of the dead are convicts. The overseers believe that there is a cult of heretics operating in the ranks of prisoners, offering human sacrifices. The prisoners themselves claim that this atrocity was committed on the order of the warden to rid his prison of more inconvenient inmates. The warden tried to reason with the raging mob, but was mauled to death instead. The overseers have managed to isolate some of the rebels in the mining facilities, but an assault would result in high losses of workforce. On the other hand, prisoners are ready to lay down their weapons, cease the violence, and repent if the rogue trader would only demonstrate some compassion towards their plight, possibly by reforming some of the more severe punishments. So what do you think, my advisors? Shireen, if the governor and a pack of overseers cannot handle their duties, should they not take the place of their wards? Could there not be some worthy administrators among those who oppose them? And those could not do better? I mean, kind of agree. A mob of commoners mauled a noble soul who was attempting to reason with them. How awful. Perhaps the underground madness has spread among them and assumed a new form, turning them into monsters in the process. It would be cruel to kill them in this case. It's much more humane and well-intentioned to exercise their brains in order to curb their ferocity and penchant for disobedience. My house did the same for whenever their serfs rebelled. I don't care about the overseers, or the convicts, or the problems. What bothers me is the dead bodies. Who left them? That's the important question. If the bodies hadn't been destroyed yet, then we could conduct certain kind of divination. The ritual is less than appetizing, but a psychic with a strong stomach could learn more about the deaths. The traces of death are more like an open book to the disciple of web. A skilled spinner can go to the mines and reveal what brought the death to the convicts. I kind of agree with those two a lot. Scourge of Vheabos VI, critical hit chance, +1 efficiency. That critical hit chance is nice, but Idira, what can you get me here? Keen Mind plus dodge reduction against all enemies is kind of nice. Spinner of the Bloodspun Web, I'm assuming does the same thing. Dark Revelation. All allies gain dodge, that could also be good. Or Keen Mind, just dodge reduction against all enemies. Yeah, Idira, I want the dodge, so have them find a psyker strong enough to determine the truth about the killer. I'm pretty relieved that I won't have to take part of this dirty business myself. The psyker found among the prisoners was not sanctioned, but he was gifted enough to perform the ritual according to the instructions sent by Idira. While digging through the intestines of the dead bodies and mumbling to himself, he beheld the dark figure that had committed the vile deed. The vision stripped away his mind, leaving him an incontent loon. Although he was unable to describe it clearly, it was still obvious that the figure was not human. The riot has subsided. Unfortunate. Lord Captain, the astropathic choir has caught glimpses of horrifying visions coming from Vheabos VI. Something has breached the colony from underground. Soon after a new sector of the deep tunnels has been put into operation, it was overrun by monsters. They lurk in the darkness, swarm in the shadows, attack quietly, and leave nothing in their wake, consuming flesh, plasteel, and rockcrete. Their churring of 1,000 claws heralds their approach, and their desperate cries can be heard in the silence of the tunnels. Praise be to the Golden Throne. These creatures do not seem to be interested in getting to the surface. However, they have seized several active mines and are doing the Emperor only knows what to them. So what are they? Few who have faced them have survived to tell the tale, and so the information is scarce and hardly reliable. Their accounts, if you will, are a jumble of mixed facts with wild speculation. Frightened workers call these monsters a swarm because they crawl along the tunnels like a wave. They say that the enemies are vast in number and resemble insects. One of the fortunate survivors, mad from horror, emerged from the mines holding a wrench engraved with strange markings. The pattern was exactly the same as one of the mad convicts who had been etching in the walls. The overseers already have admitted to somewhat bending the restrictions on digging in the vicinity of the unknown tunnels we recently discovered. New mining drifts have been placed dangerously close. So what say the advisors? The threat is unknown. Establishing the nature of the threat is top priority. Collateral losses are insignificant. Requesting authorization to coordinate an offensive operation to be carried out by penal battalions in order to determine the nature of attack. We have to block off this threat and protect the people. To do this, we must blow up the tunnels. But to make sure that the plan works, it has to be done in areas currently occupied by this unknown enemy. I'm sure that a dozen brave souls can be found in the colony, ones willing to accept the grace of martyrdom and carry explosives into the darkness below. We drive those monstrosities back underground and use heavy drilling machines to simulate an offensive from multiple directions. Then we block off the majority of the passages, leaving only the best defended ones open. Let's see how those miscreants enjoy being trapped. What would this all get me? Carapace Fragment. Negates all energy damage to the wearer, but cannot occur more than 3 times per combat. Master of the Inferno. Allies gain 10 demo and 10% more fire damage. I like that one. Or Solomorn. Rogue Trader gains 5 dodge and 5 parry. I kind of like Master of the Inferno, 10 demo. Let's get that. Heed my words, for I ask you to kindle the flames of faith in your chests against which no corruption can stand. Making a sign of the Aquila, those chosen to carry out his will descended into the darkness without a single complaint or groan. A series of tremors shook their minds, and the monstrous roars of crumbling earth filled the empty tunnels. Clouds of toxic smoke erupted from the depths of the mines. The blockage of stone and dirt has separated people from their terrible invaders, whoever they were. Not sure what was down there, but, you know, it's gone now. And then I can finish off Janus as well because I have Giant Stun and everything else. So we can get the Reaping and get my profit factor up by a lot. Oh, that's actually going to take time for once. But after that, we can do whatever that last one is. Whew, that was a lot of stuff. But then I think I can just go back to the throne room and be good with there. So that's, I think, where we're going to pick up next time is going back to Darganas, seeing what's in the throne room. I was going to say, why can I not go back to Darganas? It wasn't letting me for a second there. And that's interesting. Maybe I can't go back to the throne room for now. So do I just travel around for now? Because I thought I was supposed to go back to the throne room for this other quest. And now I'm supposed to go back to Kiava Gamma. Was it just being weird? I would like to go planet side. Why can I not go planet side? Well, maybe... There we go. Oh, I was just clicking the wrong thing. So, to be perfectly clear, what was happening is when this menu pops up, I was not seeing this because I am blind as a bat. This was popping up, all these things around the side, and then suddenly I was not seeing the things in the middle. That's what was happening. Just blind as a bat, people. So we'll pick up from here. I'm going to meet with the people wanting to see Cassia. Then I suppose we'll do all this other stuff and go from there and see just what I need to do for Darganas. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time. And please, have a good one.